Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to be pointing up the rear wall of the cottage. Just clear a little bit of this away and start work on this section. Already done a little bit here, still got a bit of ivy to remove. There is a section that's cleared already that we can get going with. I just want to try out a few different things on removing this ivy. I've got a bit for my drill bit. I think different things are better for different uses basically. You know, when you get into the joints, you need something kind of that angle. This is good for the face. So we're going to experiment and just find out the best way to do it. Right, let's get started. Maybe goggles instead of glasses. Well, let's try this first, just for the face. That's not really the right angle. Try something else. Take that one off. And that one. Yeah, slightly better. Keep that. Sometimes it's just better by hand over the screwdriver. Okay, we've got an area to work on. I'll experiment on that side. Yeah, this is quite effective. Laborious, but effective. One of them jobs that you just have to switch off. Imagine you're on holiday somewhere. And then maybe a wire brush just on the face, hand brush just to clean it up a bit. So whenever I see ivy growing up the wall, keen to remove it straight away. Trying to remove a good inch to get the new pointing in. It's a little bit difficult with this kind of formation of stone because sometimes there isn't any joint there at all, just like here. Yeah, it's a challenging wall, but it's a necessary thing to do. Once you start losing one or two stones, there's kind of like a domino effect. It helps keep the weather out of the wall as well. Like I say, it's just one of their jobs you just have to switch off from. It is nice that I'm in the shade. It stops the lime drying out too quick as well. can be an issue if you're doing it in a sunny clime. Now, if this was in full sun, maybe when you finish the work, put some damp Hessian sacking over it, and before you start, give it a little hose down. Okay, we've pretty much got a big enough section to work on now. A little bit here and there. Helps keep your dust down for now. I always like to give the line that's already been applied a light spray, so it's very absorbent when it's dry. As you can see here, they've pointed it up with cement based product. The ground level was as high as this. I've had it drop down, help with drainage. The only thing that's done really is hold a bit of moisture in, admittedly, but has held the base of the wall together, which is always a bonus. If your lime dries out too quick, it will just crack. Yeah, how deep the roots are. I think if your house was nicely pointed, the impact of the ivy would be minimal, I would imagine. It's once it gets a hold in the joints. Doesn't need a lot of moisture to survive, actually. I've had several properties over here now, and they've both had ivy growing all over the walls, and I've had to deal with the consequences, so I'm a bit biased when it comes to talking about ivy. Finding the garden as its place, I've got it in mind. It's great for wildlife, but not in my wall. Okay, that's our mix done. Yep, the face of the stone is starting to dry out. I'd say that's ready to be pointed up. Okay, up we go. Let's get this set up. Give you a little glimpse of this beautiful orchard. How peaceful. Well, that's another section done. It will dry lighter. It's always a little bit darker once it goes on, but it does dry white. It will over time darken up, but I don't mind this colour, you know. It certainly brightens the stones up for sure. You can put a dye with it, a powder. Not really necessary, I don't think, for the back of the house. What do you think? Would you colour it? I'm not going to. Now what I've done, just to strike it into the joint, is used a paintbrush. What that does, you'll find like a joint around each stone, and then once you brush it in, that joint disappears. Now this will need wire brushing back once it's dry, but from the structural point of view, I'm just keen to work it right into the joint. I'm using a sharp sand, so the more you brush it, the more the sand will come to the surface. You know, that's fine. I think I would do with another brush. So what we're after doing is just wiping in the joint. My paintbrush ain't the best for this actually, but you get the idea. We just sort of brush it in. The idea is to seal these stones so no water can penetrate in. And then the face here we can brush back with a wire brush. I always find it better to start from the bottom course and then work up and around. Get the idea. And just blend it in. Then out of nowhere, it looks like it could rain. It's not forecast, maybe a storm. Yes, that is thunder you can hear, and that's not my belly rumbling. Okay, I've started packing my tools away. It looks like we are in for a big thunderstorm. It was very hot and the pressure does feel like it's building up. Yeah, okay, I think it's abandoned this mission. Tools away. Run for the hills. Oh, bit of lightning there. Well, at least it'll clear the air once it does pour down. So humid at the moment. Okay, it's a perfect opportunity for me to pop out and get some materials, I think. Yeah, I must tell you that this morning, before I forget, me and Sam got up. Now we've got owls that nest, not in our bedroom, but in the windows in our bedroom on the outside, two little recessed windows. We've had lots of owls in the past nest there. Anyway, these particular owls, one of them fledged, flew off, and then this morning the smallest one fledged. We was a bit worried about him. He flew out and he just landed on the tree right above our heads really, and the mother bird come along and it was really nice. I did film it, but we had to step back because we didn't want to scare it. So I think, yeah, they've flown the nest now. Right there somewhere. Not a very good start though, is it? A thunderstorm. Right, see you when I get back. Well, I'm back from shopping, and I must tell you that in town it is absolutely pouring down. Big thunderstorm. Drove straight into it and straight back out of it, thankfully. Anyway, I popped into an antique shop like I do, and I picked up something that I've had my eye out for quite a few months. It's a nice period piece. Well, let me just show you. For the cottage and the barn. Now, it doesn't look much, but what this is a piece that's probably a couple of 100 years old, blacksmith made, and it goes up on these little dormers here. Now, if you see at the top of the triangle there, this would stick out, and you'd have your pulley, and you'd be able to pull it up from here. Someone up there, and they'll just take it off you. Now, I've got one of these already for this one, so this one will be for the other opening here, just on that dormer there. So yeah, well pleased with that. How much did I pay? Well, I paid the princely sum for this handcrafted 200-year-old piece of rusty metal, €5. Yep, it's elements like this that do transform your property. Simple little things like this make me happy. Sad, eh? Not the birds are singing, but we're in for another downpour. Okay, bit of a funny video today, a bit disjointed, but I think I'm going to call it a day there. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.